Broadway is back. The Wiz is at the Dr. Phillips Center now through Sunday. I'm New 6 producer Brooke Savage. I have Alan Mingo here. He plays the Wiz in the show, and Kyla Jade plays Eveline. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
So first off, tell us, what can people expect? How is your show different from the original Broadway show and the movie?
Well, for us, we decided for this new version was to combine both the movie and the original Broadway show. So we like to call this one more of a reimagining for its 50th year anniversary.
Right, and you guys were also saying how the show is, before the interview, you guys were saying how the show is almost adapted to today's struggles, right?
I think the story of Dorothy is a journey home that is universal. So it's not necessarily an adaptation of what's current, but rather surrounding itself with current themes. So the music is newer. There's dance moves that you definitely didn't see back in the day. There are a lot of things that the show added to that would reach a younger audience, as well as respect the audience who loved the previous shows.
And keeping the heart and soul of what the original Broadway show was like, and what the movie was like. Of course, you have diehard fans on both sides. Mm-hmm. And, I was introduced via the movie. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it gave me so much joy to actually bring some of the iconic things from the movie into the stage version.
Absolutely. And I could see some of that, original stuff and some modern things when it came to dancing and costuming too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So another thing is that you guys both play such fun characters. I loved your facial expressions. You also are powerful singers. What does it take to be in this show? Like, how do you have voices right now?
Tired. Our voice, it's a lot. I don't actually talk very loud. On normal occasions, and Eveline does not allow me to do that. So it's been difficult for me to adjust to having such a big personality on stage vocally at all times. So it's been a struggle for me.
I mean, my job is actually relatively easy. I know this show inside and out. This is my third version professionally. Fourth version, just sort of like dealing with school. So I know the show inside and out. And so for me, coming into work is a pure joy. I love working with the heroes. And I wish I was Eveline, because I can take out a bad day. When you're having a bad day, when someone cuts you off.
Switch.
I think we need to just
one day.
Yeah. I'm not as bad as her. I'm manipulative. I'm sort of like the guy you love to hate, but hate to love.
Yes.
So I can take out some stuff, but there are times I wish I can come in and just tear up the scenery. When you're having a bad day, it just feels good to let it out.
It does.
Absolutely. That's actually one of the questions I usually ask. If you could play any other character in the show, who would it be and why?
Except I couldn't sing her song.
Yeah.
I would want to be mean like her, but I wouldn't be able to sing the song. Well, unless you brought it down really, really low.
I think that would actually be really cool. Yeah, I would. I literally told someone the other day, and it's mostly because your costume is fantastic.
Oh, I do love that cape.
And you get a cane.
Oh, I forgot about the cane.
Yeah, you get a cane. And that I would use throughout. I would never put it down.
I was going to say, there were going to be moments where I would sort of twirl it like a baton. Yeah. The problem is the cape would start getting in the way, so I couldn't quite make that happen.
And a cane.
Yeah.
I will have to say, I feel like I haven't seen a show with this many, very powerful singers. I don't know if you guys noticed this while you're singing, but several times throughout the show, no matter who is singing, people are clapping whenever you guys really hit those high notes.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Yeah. The way that I can say is it's the African American experience. And so all of us grew up with this kind of experience in some part of our lives. Mm-hmm. And most of the time it was church. It was our family dinners. It was we sing, we laugh, we joke. So you get invited into an African American experience when you come to the Wiz. Something that I grew up in church. I grew up singing with my sisters. And so for me, we need that. We need the cheers and claps. What you don't see is on the side of the stage during No Bad News, the heroes who aren't on stage are yelling at me. So on a day that I'm tired or my voice isn't quite there, it doesn't matter because the scarecrow Elijah will say, Simma, Kyla, give it to, like he's yelling and supporting me. So even if the audience doesn't get it, I have so much support on the side of the stage. I'm not even on stage during Alan's scene, and I will go pull up a chair on the side of the stage just to see him. And so we have so much support with our cast that it means a lot when you guys do it, but when you don't, we're going to do it to each other.
Yes.
Wow. I absolutely love that. And I have noticed that sense of community. I was looking at some of the Instagrams last night, not going to lie, because I'm like, what do these guys look like outside their makeup? You know what I mean? And I saw some of those videos of them sitting off to the side, like cheering you on. Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. But our audience is very vocal too.
Now, absolutely.
That sometimes shocks people, but we feed off of that. So you have sort of two cultures sort of colliding, those who go to the theater all the time and those who rarely go. Yes. And to me, that's also part of the fun experience of The Wiz. You're watching sort of two different types of people enjoy the same art and still walking out singing the same songs.
Yeah. You know what I've noticed? Yeah. I've noticed that theater now, with the MJs and the Wiz, are bringing in an audience that never went to theater. So you're getting, you're getting that experience of people who are concert goers.
Correct.
People who go and hear music shows. So when you're at you guys just had a big concert here. When you're there, you're singing along, you're clapping, you're standing.
Yes.
That's what you do on a normal basis.
Yes.
And so now those audiences are coming to theater, and you have your normal theater goers who are polite and know theater etiquette.
Yes.
And are, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then you have the everyday singer who hears a song and they're like, say girl, that was what, you have all of those things, and it just makes for a wonderful performing experience for us.
Yes.
You know what? You guys kind of described my husband and I, because I'm the theater person and he's someone who does not really care for musicals. But he really enjoyed it last night.
Good.
Yeah. Because he's like,
we hear that a lot too.
Yeah. Because he's like, well, it's a story that he knows, but at the same time, it's a different story.
Yes. That's what I was speaking of before. The story of The Wiz, it's one of the biggest American folklores. We know when we see a scarecrow. When we see a lion walking on 2 feet, we know what that story kind of is. The great thing about The Wiz is that you kind of know the story walking in. Even kids kind of know the story walking in when they see a Tin Man. But now they have to lean a little forward to hear what our version is.
Yes.
But it's not unfamiliar to them.
Now, when it comes to the message of the show, I feel like you guys hit it even harder. So what is the main message you hope people take from the show?
It's two messages. So it's a story of finding home. That is Dorothy's journey. What is home? What does that mean? Is it family? Is it our job? Is it something that you love? So Dorothy's journey is finding that home, and then she comes along, people on the way who are distractions, who are her challenges, who are her support system. So that is the main theme of our show. But the story we want you to take from it is joy. Yes. We want you to experience joy. You want you to come in and immerse yourself in her story and experience the ups and downs and the disappointments. I think The Wiz's adaptation in this is the most surprising. When you think of The Wiz, you think about a man with redeeming qualities, like, okay, I told you to go kill the witch, but I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you a heart. I'm going to get you home. He has those qualities that you're like, oh, he's not a bad guy. He just had a moment. We do not get that in this story.
No.
And that is reality.
Yeah. And I will say at first, I tell the story a lot. When I first got to rehearsals, I was prepared. I'm a prepared actor. I know all my lines. Before we even start rehearsal. And the stage manager came to me and said, did you read the new script? And I go, what do you mean, new script? This is The Wiz. We're doing The Wiz. So I went home that day and read the script, and then I had my first nervous breakdown ever in my professional career because I was like, why are we saying different words? People love this show. What are we doing? And why is The Wiz not like mean? He should be the male version of Eveline in my mind. So a mutual friend asked me to go to the director and just tell her how you feel. And I did. And she said, Alan, I don't want this Wiz to have redeeming qualities. I wrote this show, or I wanted this sort of rewritten for my 2 teenage girls. I want them to understand when they meet an adult, sometimes they're just going to outright lie to them with no redeeming qualities. So I couldn't argue with that. It was now trying to find, what do I know about the Wiz and the people who played them before, and how do I make it and bring it in the direction in line with the director. And that was the blessing in disguise. They allowed me to sort of create my own Wiz that I dearly love. But when it comes to them, the heroes coming back to the Wiz to get, we killed the witch, we're back to get what we need, I just say, all right, I'm leaving, peace. Thanks for doing my favor, but I'm out. Y'all can handle it. And that's one thing that's been different from all those sort of the adaptations of The Wizard of Oz. This Wiz doesn't teach these young folks, no, you really still have a heart, and you're really smarter than you think. He just leaves. He doesn't care. And it takes these young folks to sort of realize on their own that they already have it within themselves. And that's something that she wanted, again, like she wanted to do it for her kids, but for the younger generation looking at the musical, she wanted the new generation to understand that sometimes you have to dig deep within to find your answer.
You know what? You just put into words exactly what I was thinking, because I was like, I wasn't mad at the Wiz, because like you said, it's within yourself the whole time. It's not about the Wiz or like
Giving
who's
you
done
something.
you wrong or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and are you allowed to say that phrase that is said often in the show? You know which one? About I think you say it at the very beginning about like appreciaing what you have. Do you remember it? Or
of course I know, but they have to come see it. I can't give away everything.
I really did appreciate that phrase though, because I
like that they bring it back. I like that it's told in the first 5 minutes to kind of give her what she needs to start her journey, and then at the end she's reminded of the thing that she was told at the beginning of the journey, but this time she receives it differently. So at first she's like, yeah, okay. But the old people say, you ain't gone through nothing. Right. So you can't understand it because you ain't gone through anything. Yes. And so I love that at the end of it, when it's said back to her, she was like, oh my goodness, I've gone through something. I can receive this for myself differently. So you got to come watch it to know what we're talking about.
But she says it almost like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that
it's already ingrained in me.
Such a great choice.
Yes,
Dana made such a great choice, and it evolved because that wasn't it at first.
Yeah.
Great choice.
But our parents tend to say things over and over again, or our grandparents would sayings and sayings and sayings, and it takes time to sort of let it seep in, and all of a sudden you face something, you go, yep, that was that saying Grandma used to say, or Mom used to say. So yeah.
I do love that theming as well about family and friendship. Yes. Appreciating who you have in your life.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And also our heroes, we call our Dorothy, Scarecrow, Lion, and Tin Man our heroes. It's their little tribe.
Yeah.
And how they have a relationship with one another, and they go traveling with one another, and then how they leave one another is something that I feel like young kids have to sort of understand, and they feel out on their own without any guidance.
Absolutely. Well, what is some of the feedback you've gotten from this show?
Oh, I mean, first of all, we have diehard fans.
Yes.
Those who really love the musical, those who saw it originally 50 years ago, those who religiously watched the movie. And I say this all the time, too. Unlike any other family show I've ever done, for this one, when you go to the stage door, someone has to tell you their connection. When they saw it first, who they were with, who brought them. And then in return, they'll go, now I'm bringing my niece and nephew.
Yeah.
Now I'm bringing my daughters because my grandmother brought me.
Yeah.
And unlike any other, I mean, I've done some big ones like Lion King and Shrek and Little Mermaid, where, you sit the kids to watch this over and over again. They don't have that same connection that people have with The Wiz.
Yeah. I really love to hear that.
Yeah.
It is a story that really hits home, pun intended.
Yes.
Very good.
So what made you both want to audition for this show?
I was a little girl who, I'm a Disney baby, so I definitely grew up watching every Disney movie. I know them by heart. I still watch them, and I don't care. I am definitely the one who wears a princess dress because I can. But I fell in love with Ursula first. Ursula had this, she was vivacious, and I was always a little chunky girl. She looked like me, and she had this awesome song. So I had this little thing for Disney villains.
Yeah.
And when I saw Mabel King in The Wiz, I literally was like, Hoppo, who this woman? Like, I loved her from the beginning. And I thought she was misunderstood then too. Mm-hmm. So I love that this adaptation of Eveline, she shows that she's flawed and that she's a little scared. So it was a no-brainer. When they said the auditions were happening, I was like, well, why not? What else am I doing? Why not try and just see? So that was really, I saw it and I was like, why not?
Yeah. I've always wanted to bring this show to Broadway. And like I said before, this is my third version. 2 of them didn't make it. And we tried really, really hard. One, I think we tried to just find new, updated, hip words that were not 70s slang. The next one, we took the Wiz live costumes and just put them on actors, thinking that was going to make it to Broadway. So for this one, I auditioned, but I still didn't think it was going to make it. So I did the pre-Broadway tour, and they said, after the pre-Broadway tour, we're going to go to Broadway. I'm like, sure we are. I didn't believe it until I actually stepped on the stage going, oh my God, we are actually here.
You did
just in time for the 50th anniversary. I mean, it didn't quite sink in because I was so, a Debbie Downer, like, this is not happening. This is not happening. I'm not getting my hopes up again. And so now that we've hit Broadway again and now that we're taking it across the country, I had to be a part of it. Knowing how much the show has meant to me as a young kid, I want others to have that same feeling as we tour across the country and want them doing this version 50 years from now.
Yeah.
So this is why I had to come out on the road with the show.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, since we touched on it a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got into acting.
I am from Kansas originally, so I have a long history with The Wiz and The Wizard of Oz. I moved to Nashville about 23 years ago, and this is my Broadway debut. So I have done more professional singing and touring and traveling. And so it was an adjustment to come from entertainment over into theater, but I'm so glad that I made the transition.
For me, this is my 6th tour, 4 Broadway shows. And so I'm used to being on stage for a long, long time. This one I have about 20 minutes on stage time, and I love it.
We love it for you.
Yeah. I love it. It's a change for me. But what I am enjoying is sort of going to places I've been before with a new perspective. When I've been here in Orlando, this would be my 4th time with one of the tours. I kind of told people this theater, people are like, well, you've been here before. You've done these shows here. And I go, I don't think so. This doesn't sound familiar. And I remember yesterday as I'm walking around, people saw this confused look on my face. I'm sort of looking at the theater going, this is clearly not where I'm not here. And an old friend who I did Shrek with actually works at the Dr. Phillips Center and said, yeah, you were not here. You were at another theater that we tore down, and this is the new sort of theater. I'm like, well, it's absolutely beautiful, but I'm glad you said something because I really thought I was going crazy. I was having a moment.
Wow, that is funny.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit, is there any behind the scenes tidbits that not a lot of people know about?
Well, it takes 2 people to get me in my costume. So there's actually a lot of things that happen.
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah.
I always hear there's a lot happening backstage. Like it's a dance backstage as well as on stage.
Very much a choreography backstage.
Absolutely. There's so many quick changes. So our ensemble is absolutely brilliant, but they'll do a song and have 30 seconds to get out of that costume, into a new costume, into a new wig, and back out on stage to do another number. And sometimes just watching that is fascinating. It really is. It really is.
And we try to keep the actors remind them that their backstage choreography is almost more important than the onstage choreography. If you think about this, yesterday we opened. We travel with our cast and we travel with a few crew members. But that same day that we're opening, we are actually training the local crew at the very same time. So when we have these quick changes, it's not our crew doing it. It's the new crew who we're teaching sometimes in the moment.
Who've never seen the show.
Never seen the show.
Yeah.
And so if you think about this, I always tell people this. Every one actor you see on stage, there's 7 people who helped get us there. And that means our crew, our front of the house, our PR, it takes a lot. So for every one actor you see, there's 7 other people working hard to make that magic happen. And that goes for all the sort of Broadway tours that come in. That opening night, while it's very, very exciting, in the beginning it becomes a little stressful because you are meeting people for the first time, and in a quick change, you're like, "Hi, I'm Alan. Okay, so you're gonna put the jacket here. This is when you put the cape. Okay, give me a second. I gotta take my sip of water, and you're gonna push me out. When I come back, I need you to have my jacket open for me." So it becomes this sort of quick talking choreography. You have to make sure you step out of the way as set pieces come flying by you, or set pieces are flying in from the sky. So there's a lot of working parts, and can be dangerous, which is why it's important for the backstage choreography to be tight.
Absolutely.
That is incredible. And you know what I've noticed lately with musicals, it's like a dance, just changing the sets pieces.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't really grow up watching Broadway, but when I was in shows myself, it would fade to black, and then they would put stuff on and then move on to the next scene. But with Broadway shows, I've noticed it's all part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be seamless. The fade in and fade outs. We sort of try to, well, TV models us, but you try to make them as entertaining. People come up with catchy ways to make them entertaining. If you notice when Eveline comes out, all of a sudden you'll see like Amber sort of burning her path as she's walking. So you try to make things very creative that fits right into the next scene. Or trees would go by, next thing you know, she's revealed behind the trees. So it's not just sort of a fade in.
Light goes out on certain actors on one side of the stage, light comes up on the other side. So your eyes move instead of there being a full blackout. It's really great.
I did notice that, and you know what? I just thought the acting was so great that sometimes I wasn't just looking at who was singing. I was looking at how people were reacting to their singing.
Love that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, the ensemble was really good.
Yeah,
they are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Do you have an idea of how many costumes there are, or costume changes, or?
We heard this before.
We did. Right? We have these numbers.
Oh my God!
I think there's like. No, don't even get me to lie.
Right. But there's a couple of hundred.
There's a couple hundred,
I want to say 200 or 300. But I don't remember. And then the wigs are a lot too. So I wish we had those numbers. I know we heard them before, but it's just so much to retain.
You have to remember each ensemble member has all of theirs, and then their understudies have also the same costumes. And then so it's just a lot and a lot and a lot.
Exactly.
Correct. And every principal has 2 understudies, if not 3.
But no one has my dress.
Well, there you go.
There's only one. There's only one.
Everyone has my cape.
Oh, that's sorry.
But they share the cape.
Okay, well, boom.
Okay, great.
Well, and I did mention this earlier, but I just have to say it again. You guys play such fun characters. The facial expressions were the best in this show, not going to lie.
Thank you. The makeup helps. It definitely... someone asked me in another interview, how hard is it for you to be angry? And I said, extremely, because I laugh at everything. I get tickled all the time. It happens on stage all the time, and I have to mentally make myself not smile.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's right on the side of the stage. I have to have people stop talking to me because they'll say something and I'll be tickled, and then I have to come out, and so I'm like, and so it's the makeup helps. Getting into the character helps me transform, but me as a person under that genuinely enjoys the people on stage I'm with. And so it's difficult at times when someone does something, I'm like, oh, that was so good. Oh, dog, bite it. I was bringing in the poppies one day.
Yeah.
And Mariah, one of our dancers, our principal dancers, is just a beautiful girl. And she waltzes in as a poppy and she smiles at me. Well, I smiled back. And then I said, dog bite it. I am supposed to be conjuring. And because she's just a beautiful person. And so she swung, and that's her character, to smile. And I just said, she's just this cute. And I said, dog bite it. So there, it can be hard.
I can't be happy.
I can't show happiness ever.
Well, for me, mine is all about happy.
It is.
I'm a sort of a traveling salesman. I'm that person you love to hate and hate to love. So, for me, if I see something on stage that tickles me, I can laugh.
Yep.
My character is just a little off. A lot of idiosyncrasies. So for me, I love coming into work and, mainly the heroes are laughing at me.
Yes, you're hilarious.
Or some things will happen. I'm doing a lot of things coming out of my hat and cane, and if anything goes wrong, they're laughing at me.
It's over.
And I'm not cracking a smile. I'm just literally going, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, Alan is a masterclass. We are actually very, very blessed to have Alan be a part of this. I'm serious. Especially those of us who are making debuts. A lot of the ensemble, this is their debut as well. All of our principals are debuting, minus Elijah, who plays our scarecrow, are debuting as principals. So to have someone with his resume, and he's perfection every night. It is really something that we can all strive for. And so we look to him, whether he likes it or not. We look to him and look for that consistency and professionalism, because we need that. We need that in leadership on stage, and he is the unofficial captain of the ship. So it drives us in a lot of ways.
I did love how you guys would do the facial expressions and then pause, like for the laughter and things like that.
Yeah. There's a especially with these big characters, there is definitely a rhythm to them.
Yeah.
That you sort of pick up. And then you can go and do something like Ursula, and there may be some similars, but not quite the same. So you sort of find a rhythm depending on the show and how to execute, those
and things, the jokes that are going to land.
Of
like,
course.
The things that people laugh at every night. But you have to kind of keep it, you have to keep it moving and not allow the laughs to go on, because they will.
Oh, yeah. Or applause. Like, she will sometimes her song is done. Don't nobody bring me no bad news, and the audience will stand up and start clapping.
I believe it, yeah.
And there's just a technique in how to do it, and she's masterful at it. It's just like, she'll let it go, and then she'll scream to everybody, "Shut up!" It's perfect.
Show has to go on.
That is so funny.
It's perfect.
Is there anything else you want to bring up about the show?
Well, there's a couple of things. One, we'll be there all week. And so we need everyone to come and see us. We'll be there until Sunday night. And there's a special for students.
Yes, we have 2 hours before the show. There are $35 rush tickets. So you need to come out 2 hours before the show.
Get all your students $35 tickets.
Hey.
And we want everyone, bring your parents, bring your children. This is a show for family. Yes. So have a family night and come see us, and we'll be happy to have you.
You'll walk out singing the songs.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Well, like Alan and Kyla just mentioned, I posted all that ticket information on clickorlando.com/settingthestage. In this podcast studio, Brooke Savage, News 6.